Oh yeah. This, guys, this is brand new. I am absolutely convinced this has never been used by a human.
Retro Unboxing.
Viewers, hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan, thanks for watching. Please find today the newest addition to my ever expanding collection of retro consoles. This is a PlayStation 3 320GB slim model, and I'd been on the lookout for one of these in mint condition, and I'm pleased to say that, having had a very quick glance inside the box, this looks to be in absolutely mint condition. The seller tried to tell me maybe that it may or may not have been used. I guess I'll probably find out. But having had a quick glance, I've had a look at the cables. They are all sealed up and whatnot. The game is still in there, and that is sealed up. And the voucher code that the box mentions over here somewhere, there's a voucher for some game download. That is still there. So, it may not have been used. I don't know. We'll see. But the specific reason I wanted this console is because, for my money, it's the best version of the PlayStation 3. I've recently picked up a couple of the original fat, kind of 60 gig backwards compatible models, but the problem with them in terms of having them out and using them regularly is that they get scratched like hell. This has got that really nice matte black feel. For me, the Xbox One X had a very, very similar feel to this console. I mean, it's for me, it's just the perfect PlayStation 3 for my collection. Right, so I just want to show you around the box, and you can see, I mean, the outer box is in really good condition overall. We've got a few kind of storage scuffs down here, and then on the top, I mean, these boxes are quite flimsy, but the flaps there are a little bit ripped up. But the other thing that has just caught my eye, which I've never really seen, is that there's a label there that says property of Sony Computer Entertainment UK Limited, with an address and not to be removed until point of purchase by consumer. So I've never seen one of those before. I don't know what it means. I don't know whether it means anything particularly special. Someone out there may or may not know. I don't really care. But it was there. I just thought I'd point it out. So on the back, just got all the usual shit. What accessories you can buy. I've never used a keyboard. I did used to have one of these back in the day. That was a mainstay in my living room media setup. I've never bothered with the camera. I've never had one of those. I don't know what that is. I've never had one. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, before I kind of get onto the full unboxing, I'm just going to slide it out of this outer box. To be honest, I wasn't particularly bothered about it being a kind of special edition or whatever. I just wanted a nice boxed PS3, and the advantage of buying one of these consoles, or any console for that matter, that's got one of these outer boxes, is that it's going to actually protect the console box inside. So this is the best chance of finding a pretty good boxed console. Alright. That is now upside down. Stranger things have happened. Right, stick that over there. Okay, so the first thing I've noticed, which I don't remember noticing before, is there's a strange ventilation hole on the bottom of the box. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, on the back, it is literally just a repeat of everything that was on the back of there. And then on the front, so to be honest, you could just buy this without the outer sleeve and you'd never know that it was a particularly special edition. The console itself is identical, it's just the fact that it is bundled with Modern Warfare 3. Yeah. at that. Other than that bit of tape there that's been pulled off, the box it does look. I've got Xbox One X. I think my Series X box is in less good condition, if I'm honest. It's just a little bit of a dent down there, but that's kind of commensurate with what was in the on the outer box there. This is what I'm expecting to find in there: a PlayStation 3, a power cord, a USB cable, which is to charge the DualShock controller. Just a quick note on the DualShock controller. This is an actual DualShock controller with vibration. The controllers that came with the original PlayStation 3 Fat were 6-axis only. There was some sort of issue with the company that make the Rumble pack, and Sony couldn't get the license for it or some shit. So this is a proper one. They obviously settled their differences, whatever those differences may have been. But look at that. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Right, let's get it open. So, as you can probably see, everything looks to be in place. This bit, I don't know. I think someone's probably taken it out and then put it back in. I genuinely, at this point, I haven't taken the console out of the box. I've popped these bits out. You can see the instruction manual and just a few leaflets and whatnot, which are all completely still sealed. There's not, any kind of major damage, or they don't look used or opened. The controller, the bag isn't sealed, but I don't think they ever were. There's no evidence that there was any tape around the top. And the controller for me looks, for want of a better word, it does look new. So, not so much as a fingerprint on it. As you can see there, DualShock 3 and 6-axis. Modern Warfare 3, sealed. And then this voucher code, which I'm not going to show yet. You probably caught a glimpse. And then, yeah, why Sony didn't bother putting HDMI's in by this point, I'll never know. But we've got the standard AV connectors there. We've got the micro USB, which clearly hasn't been opened. And that should be a power cord with a smaller figure of 8 type end, and a SCART adapter, which I will not use. So let's whip this console out then. This is genuinely, I swear, this is genuinely the first time I've had this console out of this box. If I had have had the console out of the box, it would have actually been packaged a little bit neater. Right. Let's take that out. Sorry for all the noise and scraping. Let's get it out there. You really do have to, please excuse the shit-eating grin. It's a long time since I've had a PS3, and to find one that I genuinely think has probably never been used is excellent. It's a dream come true. Yeah, you can see the... I don't think it's been out. There's an imprint just there on the foot. See that? Just there. Which is in what looks like the only location that it's ever been imprinted on this polythene. I know I sound like I'm overstating it, but I mean I'm not trying to overstate it. I'm not trying to oversell this. I don't know. Let's see. This hasn't been used. You can usually see on the ports. So we've got all the usual ports on the back there, and you can normally see from when you've plugged in any of these cables, particularly the HDMI, because it's metal and the HDMI cable connector is metal. You can usually see where they've been fouled on the way in, and the the plastic has scratched a little bit, but there's not a hint of a sign of use on there. Little bit, well, not disappointed. I'm not too fussed either way, but there was a different version of this particular model that had got kind of a chromey, a chrome strip across there, rather than this black piano plastic. I'm 99.9% convinced that this has never been used. There's the bottom. Why it says PS3 on the bottom, I'll never know. This is wicked. Seriously. This is a brand new, never been used PS3. I'm sure someone out there will, some super sleuth, some Sherlock Holmes, will present me with some evidence to say that it isn't brand new, but I'm convinced. Right, I'm going to shut up about it because I'm starting to piss myself off, to be honest. So yeah, what I'm going to do is get it plugged in, see if it works, because at this point I don't genuinely, how could I know if it still works or not? So I'm going to get it plugged in, get it booted up, see what firmware it's on. Again, I'm not really bothered about those kind of things, but it's just, we'll have a look for the sake of interest. And I'll load up a couple of games and have a bit of a play. Back in a second. Right, so I've now got the PlayStation set up with the monitor. There's a couple of things that I wanted to point out. First and foremost, this is, I'm fairly sure this is some sort of second revision to this slim model. The one that I had many moons ago had the mirrored sort of finish there, and I'm fairly sure that was quite a bit heavier than this model. So same model, but just a little bit different. And what has also occurred to me, and I think I mentioned it earlier on, that there's just a lot that's, for me, is quite similar between the PS3 Slim and the Xbox One X. I think Microsoft took quite a bit of inspiration from this. They've literally just squared off the edges, but it's similar in dimension, it's similar in finish, reasonably similar looking. But anyway, I digress. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Nothing. What hadn't occurred to me, because I'm obviously a moron, is that this is obviously been sat in a box for 14, 13 years or whatever, and has no charge. Back in a sec. So I'm going to do what I didn't want to do, which is to unseal this, and it's because I can't put my hand on another mini USB or whatever that particular type is. I think it's mini USB. So I'm going to have to. That's right. Try again. I'm not getting anything to show it's charging. It's possible that there'll be no power coming through that until I've turned it on. So let's use the bloody button. I wanted to use the controller, god damn it. I'm getting nothing on the control. Ah, there we go. I was getting a bit worried there that it was DOA. Can you read this screen? Yes. Oh, yeah, we've got sound. I think that is the best opening, best startup for any console ever. It's my favourite. System information, right, so we've got free space, 263 gigabytes of 298, which is, you'd have to say, quite reasonable for a 320 gigabyte hard drive to only be able to use 263 gigabytes of it. And firmware, software version is 4.11. That, again, probably means something to somebody in terms of whether you can jailbreak it or whatever, but that's not my thing, so I'm not too worried about that. I know a lot of people will say what is already in my mind, which is you should strip it down and re-silver the CPU or the GPU or whatever. That's something that I'm going to mull over. It's going to really depend on whether I decide to keep this as the daily driver, as it were, or whether I just keep this boxed up and just keep it nice and fresh. So I'll update you on that one. Right, stick a game in. I'm going to go for Resistance, Fall of Man, because I've not played it and it was one of the launch titles for the PS3, so it just seems rather apt. Let's have a look. Pop this in. Watch there already be a disc in. There isn't. Here we go, eventually. Let's go. We're planning in a town. Oh. Didn't last long there, did I? Where the hell did he go? Well, that was a load of shit, wasn't it? Let's whip this one out. And I'm going to go for Uncharted 3 as the second game we're going to play.
For they may act their dream with open eyes.
My apologies. One can't be too careful.
I'm guessing you're Talbot?
Mr. Sullivan and Mr. Drake.
Okay. Schwartz him up!
You and me.
Get him! Yeah, you spilled more drink! Come on, oh yeah! Get him, lads!
Well, I think you've probably seen enough of that now. There's going to be a few more videos on PS3. Now, I'm quite conscious that actually most of the videos I've done for the last few months have been on Xbox in some way, shape or form. And that's a bit weird because in my 20s and early 30s, this particular console, this slimline PS3, I had it. It was probably on my media shelf being used for maybe 4 or 5 years. It was the mainstay, and yeah, I don't know why I've kind of gravitated back towards the Xbox. I'm really pleased, ridiculously, massively, super califragilistically pleased to have picked this console up. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Retro Unboxing.